Hey, how's everybody going? This is Cyrus Igono with Gatson Records. Um, we just wanted to create a little webinar to show you guys and tell you guys kind of what we're up to. We started a new company this year, a few of them actually. We get a lot of calls and questions about it. It's wilsonandhunt.com. So I wanted just to take a few minutes and kind of speak to you about what it is that we're doing and how it pertains to you. Well, first off, I'd say in 2014, you know, the traditional music industry model as we know it is gone. So the days of it's so hard to be a musician and you're doing it on your own, doing it on your own is impossible, and you need a record label to come and get you and give you millions of dollars, etc. That day is done. So we all know now it's pretty much possible. It is possible to be successful if you know what you're doing. So, in essence, I tell people we're in the new music business era. The new music business era is about you, the independent musician. It's DIY. It is not about the label. The label in 2014 only has specific responsibilities, which actually make it better and more profitable for the label. It doesn't have to worry about a lot of the things it used to have to worry about because in essence, the system has created and forced independent musicians to develop themselves. So in the long run, we actually have a better product. So let me hop into this. You guys are probably wondering who I am talking, what it is that we do, etc. So we just want to jump into the background about that. I'm Cyrus Igono. I started Gatson Records. Um, Gatson Records actually is a stem from another company that we have. It's called Royal Epic. Um, Royal Epic pretty much started in 2008. I was playing football at Northern Arizona University, and I actually got hurt for a few weeks. And when I was hurt, I was like, oh, I want to start a company. You know, I didn't know what to do because the only thing I cared about at the time was football. So a kid from my high school loaned me $275,000. I know it sounds crazy, but it really did happen. He really loaned me $275,000. So when he loaned me $275,000, I said to myself, man, I'm gonna do a clothing company, and I'm gonna promote this clothing company with music, cause music's all I really care about. You know, the normal rational person would say, "Oh, let me, slowly spend this money and build it up." We said, "No, let's spend it all on one day." So we did the Little Wayne concert. You can look it up. 2008. Tucson, Arizona. I don't know if you remember when Lil Wayne got arrested at Mexico. That was pretty much our show that we did. At the time, I was 20 years old. Everybody else, I was the oldest one. So you gotta understand, it's a lot of little kids running around with a whole lot of money. Everybody at the venues were like, "Why are these kids here?" Blah blah blah. But it was really our show. And the reason why we tell people this story because it's actually it's very significant. Um, Money, especially as an entrepreneur, the access to capital allows you to do things a lot of people wouldn't really do. So at my age, at 20 years old, I was speaking to people who are very, very influential and who are seeing me in that light and also we were experiencing those experiences with those people. So a lot of the people that we ran across that time was Lil Wayne, we went Playboy Mansion, um, you know, whatever you could think of that goes along with having hundreds of thousands of dollars and being a 20 years old. We did it, and it was a very eye-opening experience. Um, because of that experience, I met a guy, and he actually became, you know, pretty much my mentor. And if you look into the history of our company, we had a distribution agreement, an unsubsidized distribution agreement with Warner Music. That was back in 2011. So, you know, concerts over, kind of more so like, okay, promotions isn't the greatest thing in the world. I really want to be on the other side getting the money, because paying Lil Wayne $100,000 and then just seeing them leave in a few hours, you know, it really does something to you, So, that's what I want, is what I said. And I said, man, I'm going to become a music manager. I'm going to learn this industry. And luckily, because of the people I met through the process, I was given an opportunity to, get an unsubsidized distribution agreement. So we started Gatson Records. Gatson is, I pretty much got the name Gatson because of the Gatson Purchase happened. The Gatson Purchase happened in the mid 1800s in the United States. It's pretty much where we bought Arizona and parts of New Mexico from Mexico. At the time, it was the biggest land purchase in the world. So the name has a lot of significance to me because, again, a friend of mine loaned me money, and we did the work. So if you know anything about America at that time, a lot of people were building the railroads, and it was these few guys who were kind of getting rich off of, uh, you know, the building of the country. Um, so whether it's blood, sweat, or tears, or paying money, you realize that in business you have to do both. So that's where the term Gadsden comes from. Um, America was built on capitalism, and all great companies are built upon both of those things. So that's where Gadsden, the name Gadsden, comes from, and that's where the cowboy or old American brand comes from, is because we understand and respect that history of what it is we're trying to build. The original Gadsden has two D's in it, but it just looked ugly, so he took out the second D. So, as we're starting this company, Gadsden, we got big connects in the industry. Um, we have a deal, but we're not putting out any music. So, if you look into our history, you'll see that we had a band called the Darlings. We spent a lot of money on this on the band. Things didn't necessarily work out. We're running around trying to find talent, and it is a virtually impossible thing to do. You find that basically all musicians are talented to a certain extent. A lot of them are talented, but they're not developed, or they have no design, graphic design, or they don't have a person to create media on hand, or you know, I don't know. There's a million things that could potentially happen. There's no process that everybody knows that, okay, I'm gonna become, like, for example, in the olden times, you're gonna become a painter, like in Michelangelo's era. You were an apprentice, then you did this, then you did that, then you became a painter, and everybody knew that you were a painter. There really is no way in our industry today to make sure somebody is qualified at what they do or to be seen that way. So there's a definite big problem. We all know somebody, or even if it's you yourself, that when you're starting to do your craft and you don't know, and even if you think you know stuff, you don't really know because you don't even know everything. So it's like hard for a lot of people with somebody who hasn't been in the industry for 20 or 30 years to know what to do. So I mean, very, very, very small amount of people actually take the right steps and build the right team to get to where they want to go. So Lil Wayne concert again. So because of this problem, earlier this year we said, we want to, and instead of doing this process ourselves, we wanted to open it up to people so that we can start to see who is going to be in essence, the future of the business. If you think about it like this, in the Major League Baseball, they have 4 or 5 levels of baseball teams. You start in single A, you go to double, you go to triple A, then you're in the big leagues. Sometimes people don't get to the big leagues till their 30s. They're in the minors for 10, 12 years. In essence, it's a way for them to weed out everybody who is not good, they don't deserve to be there. You can think about it or whatever way you want, but this industry is not for everybody. So we created Wilson and Hunt in essence to see and separate the people who are different from the rest of the pack. And that's pretty much the purpose of the company. So, along with that, you have the common misconception. Somebody's going to find me and help me based on my talent. We talk to people all the time who believe that, they are godsends and they are the most talented person. That may be true. We all know the most talented person on the world. We all have a friend that is just amazing at what they do. But as we all know, hard work beats talent all of the time. All of the time. Just because somebody's talented, you have to do a lot of things along with that talent to get to where you want to go. So, please don't let this be you that believes just because you are a talented person, that's all it's going to take. Because that is a big lie. So, in essence, what we noticed over talking to these hundreds of artists every week is there are 5 major problems facing musicians. So there's 5 big ones. And let's talk about those, see if we all fall into one of them, but there's 5 major ones that everybody's facing. So it's the lack of clarity. All right? Let me break it down to you in a very, very simple way. Throughout this whole presentation, I'm going to try to break things down in a stupidly simple way. Let's say you live in New York City and you are going to drive to Los Angeles to meet P. Diddy because he's going to give you a record deal. Okay? The first thing you are going to do is to get really excited. Just kidding. You're going to go to mapquest.com and type in the directions. How do I drive from New York City to Los Angeles? So the parable of that is that when people start out doing music or their craft or whatever, where do you want to end up? Do you want to be a billionaire? Do you want to just do local shows? Do you want to make millions? Or do you want to be independent? Do you want to sign to a record label? Is friendships important to you, or is the people that you know important to you? A lot of these questions you need to write them down. That's what you need to do. You need to say, this is my goal. It needs to be clear and concise. You should be able to explain your goals in 5 sentences. This is what success is to me. Because when you can clarify what success is to you, your decisions are a lot easier. They're more black and white. So that is the number one problem I have. We speak to people all the time, and we'll say, "So what do you want to do? Do you want a record deal? Do you want this?" Like, "Oh, I don't know. I just want to I want to be happy," or some other very uneducated answer like that. So don't be one of those people. If you do this one step, if you can overcome this one step, it would be very, very important for you. The second thing is the branding. Branding, branding, branding. These are 2 very, very successful companies. So there's not a right or wrong answer to this, but what people don't do is they don't identify what their brand is and who they are marketing to. Walmart makes a lot more money than Louis Vuitton, but the people, as you know, that go to Walmart are a lot different on average than the people that go to Louis Vuitton. A lot of people think they're selling Louis Vuitton, but they're really selling Walmart. So branding is probably the most underrated aspect of the music business or arts in general. When Kanye West produced your beat, it's a lot different than no disrespect, some vibes or some SoundClick beat that you bought for $9. And no disrespect, because those vibes and all those other guys on SoundClick, some of them are millionaires. But the prestige of Kanye or a Timberland beat is a lot different. So you have to understand your brand. If you can't talk to a music executive and tell them what you're doing in 3 words, you do not understand your brand. 3 words. When you call us and we say, "What are you?" you need to tell us in 3 words. If you say it more than 3 words, I don't know. All right? So that's something that you need to think about. It's very, very, very important. The next one we got here is the record deal. This is I'm not gonna go too deep into this because the record companies, we're a record company. We believe in record deals, but I think that it's more of an advanced business system. It's more of a joint venture now than it is a traditional record deal that everybody knows. So I'm going to explain to you in layman's terms what a record deal is. A record deal is a loan given to you based upon the ability to recoup the investment. So if your record deal is $2 million, everybody's like, "Oh, this person signed for $2 million, blah, blah, blah." Okay, so if you sign for $2 million, $1.8 million of that money is being paid back to the record company towards marketing, internal costs, etc., production budget. There's a plethora of things. 200,000 of that is given to you to live and either spend on creating the album or spend on living expenses to create the album. that money is deducted from the first money in before you get paid. And the craziest part about it is that a record deal is you get anywhere from 8 to 18% if you're on the high end of the royalties. So like we like talk to people sometimes that we're about to sign and they're trying to tell us they want uh you know 50%, 60%. If you go to a major, they're going to laugh at you, truly laugh at you if you're even trying to demand anything more than 13%. That's just like crazy. So the record deals, and you guys should really go look this up. The record deals, in the old traditional sense, are in 2000 and the age we're in now, not the most viable option. So just because somebody is going to pay for your stuff does not equate to long-term success, is the moral of the story. So you are getting ahead now, but for the long term, will you be able to sustain that success? And that is the most important factor. So the record deal, I would say for 99% of the people watching this, you think that is what you want, but I would tell you that, there is a better way. It's going to be a longer path, but if you are really about your craft, it's the better route to take. The other problem a lot of up and coming artists have is they don't have a team. So we got a picture here of the San Antonio Spurs. Every single year, for the record, I do not like the Spurs at all. They're boring. But every single year, players who maybe aren't as talented always compete. They're even in the championship now because they work the sum of all the parts is greater than just one person, So if you're a musician and you are really great at making music, but your videographer sucks and you only paid him $50, well, your brand could potentially be damaged from that. If you don't have a web guy, if you don't have somebody to get you shows, if you don't have help with your social media, or if you can't interpret analytics of your social media, if you don't have a merchandise company that's handling your merchandise, etc., it's going to be hard for you to reach your full potential in your craft without the team. So teamwork definitely makes the dream work, let me tell you. The last problem a lot of people have is they don't have a place to sell. And if they do, it's very rarely at the places where everybody's at. So music aspect of it is okay, we can get it on iTunes, we could do TuneCore, we can do this stuff. Well, the world is a very big place, and in a lot of countries, there is a lot of different ways people consume or purchase music. So, really, that's even just the music aspect of it. Shirts and merchandise is a very huge deal. You have to be able to monetize your fans, quote unquote. So if that's not something that you're doing, that's obviously going to be a big problem. But something that we've seen is a lot of musicians don't know how to do it or in the proper steps. So that is a massive problem. So this is take a little sidebar and kind of break down something for you. You should really think about what I'm about to tell you. So as a record executive, a little formula that we've seen that works time and time again is the 150K rule. Like I said, the music industry now actually works smoother because it's real easy when somebody separates themselves from the pack to be able to be seen that they're being successful. So a general way of thinking about it is you need $150,000 worth of value for you to get a record deal if that's what you want to do, or if you want to be seen as, different from the pack. So let me explain this in a little bit deeper terms so you can listen to what I'm saying. 150,000 just doesn't mean 150. I have 150,000 cash. All right. So the different ways that you could equate this general figure or earn it is by, one, having an investor. Your parents have money. You can pay people off. You can pay or whatever. Two, you can actually go out and sell product and make the 150,000. So you can go sell CDs. You can sell shirts. You can sell advertising on your website or your blog. You can do a lot of different things and actually earn the 150K. Or the third thing is you can know somebody and that connection value or business value is worth over 150,000. So for example, if I'm just starting music and Lil Wayne is my best friend or uncle and I talk to him every day, well, guess what? Lil Wayne, as being my uncle, is worth probably a lot more than 150,000. So in essence, you need that value along with your project to separate yourself. Because if you have the 150,000 cash from an investor, you can pay the right people to get you in the right places. If you earn the 150,000 in my second example, well, guess what? A lot of people now have your product. So that's actually the best way to do it, because now people have your music, they have your shirts, they have these things, and then guess what? You now have that money. It's yours. And then the third way is the way that a lot of people kind of get on these days is they have a relationship with somebody that kind of co-signs for them. So we're seeing this in kind of like, ASAP Mob, where is ASAP Rocky that got on, then it's Ferg, then it's all of the other people. Well, they're all friends, and the connect value because of their friendship is very, very high. So this rule, if you actually listen to what I'm saying and you go look at all of these people who are quote unquote famous, one of those three examples are true. They had somebody pay their way in, or two, they earned their way in, or three, they have a connect that's worth similar amount of money to 150,000. It's not rocket science, it's just general, but I mean, just as an insider tip, since if you got this far, now you know about the $150,000 rule, and you know you need to get there because you want to separate yourself from everybody else. So you've pretty much heard the reasons why it's going to be tough for you to make it. So, you're watching this so that we can let you know about what we've done for you to change that. And that's our solution, and that's Wilson and Hunt. So what we do in a nutshell is we provide you a 26-week program that changes your situation. You've probably been doing this for a while. You've probably been doing this for years. Like I said in the first part of the 5 reasons why people are not successful, we have the map. We have the plan for you to go from this fat guy to the buff guy. And that's what you want to do with your music career. You don't want to just be like everybody else. You want to succeed. So everything from graphic design, from merchandise to distribution, we're going to help you achieve that over this program period. And, it is obviously advantageous for you to do so. So what makes our process different? I actually want to go to the site here, show it to you live, and kind of show you what it is. Okay, so I'm logged in as AJ. I want to show you, so you will also have access to this. These are just some of our clients that we have here. If you can see in our 26-week program here, it actually shows you when they started and then their progress towards the finish. And if we actually click on one of these people's projects here, you can see what we're doing with them every single week. So let me go here and see the middle column. Let me show you guys sort of the things that we'll be doing over the time frame. Got a little ahead of myself there. Bio, photo editing, logos, color palettes, web mockups, press kits. We design a merchandise store for you. We do press releases. We hook you up with different companies, whether it be merchandise, booking agencies, etc., that we're going to strategically align you with to basically help attain success, a successful situation for you over the 26-week period. So let's log in the back here, and you can see all of this stuff is being done. And it's pretty cool because once it's done, it's uploaded to the back end here, and then you can just log in and see it, be like, oh, I don't like it. You know, you can quickly reply. So it's really cool. So like for this one client, you can just log in and then you can actually download the press kit that we provided for him on the back end. It's really this simple for you, and you can see his stuff. You should check this guy out. Super tight rapper. You know, you can see the quality design, you know, that's provided for him. This stuff that, you know, looks professional. Professional photos, you know, a professional representation of what it is he's doing, and something that we can provide for you and provide for all of our clients. You know, you can also send us a message here on the back end at any time, you know, and we'll get back to you quickly. Get back here to the PDF. So some reasons why you should work with Wilson & Hunt, like I said, it's the clarity. It's a clear process. A lot of people make the mistake of marketing their music just to market it. They're not marketing to a niche. Like I said earlier, are you Louis Vuitton? Are you Walmart? Are you Nike? What are you? You know, it's a clear process, and we're not just out there tweeting just to tweet, you know, or whatever. People have no goal with their marketing. Well, you need to have a goal, and that's what we provide. Constant contact, like I showed you, is nothing to get on the back end at 3, 4 in the morning and just write a message. You know, as fast as we possibly can, we will reply and get back to you. You know, if your stuff is you want edits to your press kit or whatever it may be, that's stuff that we can do and upload it again for you quickly. A clear brand. I actually want to take some time to talk about this. Okay? So I'm sure that you've experienced this before, but with your music, and if you're not working with one company, it's hard to have your brand clearly shine through. So an example I'll give you is this. If you're making your music, you know, and you're gonna have, let's say, I don't know, 6 people on a track. I don't know. That just sounds crazy. But let's say you're making a music and you guys are gonna do a whole album, right? you have a country singer, rock, whatever. If you guys made the songs, if you made a song, it would not sound the same. Because in essence, every single part of the song, it would be a different person from a different perspective, and it would just not sound cohesive. Some people may think it's cool, but it was not all done by one person, and it loses its brand value. So working with one company like Wilson and Hunt will allow, once the brand is established, it will clearly be disseminated through your marketing materials. So it'll be very easy for someone to walk in your store, quote unquote, and say, okay, yeah, this is Louis Vuitton. Or they'll walk in and say, okay, yeah, I'm at Walmart. They need to know where they're at. And the brand clarity is very, very important to your success. And another really important part is, our distribution points. So, through our deal via Mainstream, we have a distribution partner in Ingrooves for your music, which is a very, very big deal. We also have a merchandise company that will be, partnering you with, or if you choose to, also booking websites, etc., that are going to give you distribution points for you to be able to monetize. And being able to monetize is definitely the name of the game in making music, because that is what you want to do. So, in closing, let me just say to you that we've had a lot of successful people come through our program. We currently work with a lot of successful people. You can see them on our site, or you can check out GatsonRecords.com, or do your research on, me or all the other people in our company, and you can kind of see, the proof for yourself. But I really want to kind of express to you, one, no matter what I say or what anybody else says, the only person that knows whether they'll be successful or not is you. And your own future is in your own hands. And I definitely want to reach my hand out to you if you know you'll be successful to work with us, because that's the spirit and mentality that we have with our company. We take this so seriously. It's like a life or death thing for us. So we survive by creating success stories for you. We are servants to you. Your success is our success. So if you want to be successful and you're going to be successful, definitely fill out the form below. Contact us. Let's get to work. If you're motivated, if this is really what you're going to do for your living, you got to take the first step and fill the form out and work with us. We look forward to hearing from you, and let's make it happen.